Well, we can just talk about all the lessons.
Okay.
Really. So, I was going to ask you about the project, the poster project that they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, because this is all, like this week, I'm doing the filming for EdTPA.
Okay.
So, I was trying to think of ways to, incorporate like discussion and like academic language practice into kind of the framework we already have.
Right.
So, I was thinking they're going to be in small groups for their project anyway,
Mm-hmm.
discussing to figure out what they want to use or what they want to focus on for their poster. So that's the discussion part. So that's
Okay.
good. And then I was thinking, is there a way, because you know more resources than I do, is there a platform that they can do this digitally so that on or at some point they can actually like show it on the smartboard and present
Mm-hmm.
their poster to the class,
Yeah.
and then
Where's my iPad? Right there behind you.
because I had a couple ideas, but I didn't know like time wise how much time we had or
Right.
it would take. So I was thinking it would be cool if you could have them do like a very short presentation, even just showing it and briefly explaining what the rule is and what it's about, and then the everybody has peer evaluation forms.
Okay.
So like we give out the rubric,
Mm-hmm.
and then the classmates grade the other groups on their
Yeah.
project.
Okay.
So I thought that would be strong assessment for the students, also like for myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because like really the more opportunities for assessment, the better. You
Mhm.
know. So I didn't know, because I was like doing some research online last night on different like digital platforms they could use, and I didn't know like what you guys already had and practice
Right.
with.
Well, there may be an app. That's what I was going to check and see.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not, we used to have something called Poster Maker app.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see.
And because then I thought it'd be fun if we had more time, they could make like a short ad, like iMovie, like through iMovie or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know time-wise if there's really enough time for them to spend on doing that.
Right. So, okay, when it's time for them to present, like, tell me again what all you said you wanted them to present at that time, like in front of the class.
Their completed digital poster. Protest
Okay.
or persuasive poster, which is really like an ad. We're
Right.
telling them to create an ad.
Okay, so there's pages that they can do. Then there also may be another app. Like Pages is just like a word processor. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with that?
I've seen the kids.
Yeah. So you know, you can create any form of a poster.
So you can put graphics and stuff in it.
Right. It's just like a Word document
Okay.
that they can create. So there's that. There is iMovie, but not all of them have pages, and not all of them have iMovie since the
Mhm.
redo.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the only thing that we're going to run into.
Well-
But maybe if they're in groups, someone in the group's iPad.
I know. I was about to say, since they're working collaboratively, they're really going to have to be on one person's iPad.
Right. So we'll just make them pick one
Yeah.
that has it.
Mhm.
There was something else that we used to use. Maybe it was Book Press or something like that they may have. We can do some looks on, look for that. That may actually just make like a poster.
Yeah.
I thought there was one that was called Poster Maker.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So if not, Pages will do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we'll borrow. I don't have an Apple TV, but like Jennifer does,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll borrow hers, and they can AirPlay on.
Okay,
Up on the
that'd be
smartboard.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of that?
That's
do
good.
Do we have enough? So like,
What
tomorrow we're having them do some application of what we introduced today, and we can use commercial. Is it all commercials, or does it involve some print too?
100%. I think they're all.
Okay, so like these are for specific commercials.
Right. I think we would show the commercial, and then they're kind of filling that out,
Okay.
which is, you know, pretty good interactive stuff.
So this is pretty much going to take out the whole, I mean, this would definitely
Right.
take out the whole Python. Okay.
And we could only do one side, or we could do both sides, just
Mhm.
depending on what we had time for.
I think we should go ahead and separate them into groups tomorrow. I mean, so that the groups are already organized.
We can. What are they doing? Wednesday would be creation of the project, right? And then Thursday would be presentation.
Yeah.
Is that what you're kind
So
of
they have
thinking?
like is it a class period? Going to be enough time to
Well, yeah, if you're doing groups, like how big of a group are you thinking? 3 to 4?
something like that?
Okay. So if it's just the groups, you know, individually you probably wouldn't have enough time to airplay everybody's.
Right.
But as a group, you can knock out 3 at a time, basically.
Okay.
So either way, so we'll just do it 3, and then we should be able to present if they're done. That's the thing, you know, like they got to get done on Wednesday, so I need to give them all of
Yeah, is
Wednesday
that
to
enough
create.
time to create?
Should be.
Okay.
I mean,
So if we give them,
we'll explain it to them Tuesday, tomorrow. After we can go through this and see how time goes. If we only get through one side of this, and then
Yeah.
we'll stop, explain the project.
yeah,
we can go
maybe
ahead and-
carve out like 10,
Yeah,
15 minutes.
10
or so.
minutes. 10 minutes should be fine.
Yeah.
Talk about what we're going to ask them to do, so they can already be thinking about what rule, and then we can go ahead and break them into groups and have them right. And then they'll go ahead and they can go ahead and decide which rule they're going to create, or protest, or
Right.
whatever they're going to petition for.
Okay.
And they'll have that idea coming in on Wednesday.
Mhm.
Then they can just create.
Okay.
So, yeah, I say we do one side of this
Yeah.
tomorrow, just one side, and then use the rest of the time to introduce the project, what our expectations are, get them in groups, and let them go ahead and get an idea of what they want. That way, Wednesday is just churning it
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
I think that would be good.
Okay.
Trying to pull up this. See if it will pull up the websites for that. And then Thursday, yeah, if they're in groups of 3 or 4, they should be able to. And we'll give them that option. Sometimes, you know, you can pick if you got some of your guys that you don't want to work together, that you know they're going to be distracted in each other.
Yeah.
But most times you'll say you have to be in a group of 3 or 4. They'll pretty well. assemble.
Yeah. I didn't know how you wanted to do that.
It's up to you. I've done it in a variety of ways. I mean, you can pick, you know, high student, low student, middle,
Right.
you know, achieving student, or you can let them, you know, just pick a buddy or something
Right.
like that. Done it however you think, you know, you want to see it. If you want to see it done a certain way, we can do it that way too.
Okay.
So it's really just however you want to roll it out. Yeah, here they are. I think we'll just click them and go. But then if you did like 3 or 4, that takes care of your odd numbers, you know, because they'll kind of assemble
Right.
and stuff. So it gives them a little bit of freedom at this point in the school year. They can handle it.
I'm okay with that. Do you want them to? You think we should have them protesting a rule that's already here, or do you think they should be persuading something? Like the protesting and persuading thing to me is a little, like, the more I think about it, it's a little more at odds.
Yeah.
So do you think we should give them a choice? Like, okay, you can either persuade the principal to change a rule that's already in place, or you can persuade the principal to add something new. What do you think would be better?
Probably
Should you even give them that choice, or stick with the?
either or. I think you can give them a choice and that's fine.
Mhm.
Or I think if we're going to pick one, I think we need to pick that they protest a rule that is established. Because
Right.
at this point,
Right.
they understand that better
Yeah.
than trying to
Something
create
new.
something new. Because
Okay.
they're going to say, you should serve McDonald's for lunch. That's ridiculous. You know, like, they're not going to stay within the realm of reason
Right.
at this age. And so if we give them something, okay, you know our school rules, you know
Mhm.
what our like, dress code or whatever it may be, and whether you agree or not, you can protest it. So if we're going to pick one, I would say
The
protest.
protesting.
But if we want to give them the option, we can do that too.
Okay.
You know, however you want to see it,
Okay.
I'll let you choose. So that,
We can stick with the protest.
okay.
Yeah, I can see them like adding some ridiculous stuff,
Yeah.
and then having trouble really using persuasive techniques to support their
Right.
idea.
Especially on the logical side.
Right.
Because it wouldn't be logical at all.
Right.
So.
Hmm. Do we need to have do they know all the school rules off the top of their head, or do we have a printout, or?
We can probably pull up, our handbook I think is online, and so we can pull that up and look at it. When you said vocabulary a while ago, how were you thinking about it? Is there something specifically that we need to do about vocabulary?
Oh, for academic language?
Mhm.
Presenting is a part of that.
Oh, okay.
It's like the NTPA is all about, giving them, constructing like a solid academic language and academic skills, and presenting, and changing, I guess, your sort of code of language from like when you're sitting in the group to when you're presenting.
Informal. Yeah.
Exactly. So that would take care of that.
We can kind of run down.
And then obviously, like from the vocabulary standpoint, or all this new vocabulary you learned today,
right,
would be all a part of that.
Let's see. Here's our code of conduct, and so of course they'll have their iPad, so we can give them this link or tell them to go and look at it. So the table of contents, like dress code is in there. Lockers, attendance. Like we can't do, it just can be an array of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get down to just maybe where it had rules, like dances.
Mm-hmm.
We're not allowed to let anybody outside of students come to the dance. I mean, a parent's fine, but like you can't bring your high school boyfriend to the middle school dance. So that might be a rule that some of them would like to see different. So we can let them kind of scroll down through this. They can't bring any outside food in. Nothing like from a restaurant is supposed to be pulled into the lunchroom.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people at the beginning of the year have a hard time with that, especially in 6th grade, because they're not used to that. So I guess in the elementary schools they allowed them to like bring in like their mom would run through McDonald's, get them a Happy Meal or something, and then they would just bring it for lunch the next day. They're not allowed to do that. Anything that has any kind of outside advertising they can't have. And so, maybe that's something they'll want to protest. So we'll give them a link to this. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
So they'll have an idea.
Yeah. Okay, so she has the standards already on that. For the persuasive standards. So I can copy that and paste it.
So you said a peer critique form. Are you going to use any other kind of rubric or anything else for assessment? Or just more of a... Okay.
I'll have to come up with something.
Okay.
I think... So this kind of has a checklist. So I might take this, or after we're done with this, I might take this and kind of come up with a simpler peer
streamlined
eval.
Yeah.
So this is a central question. How are consumers persuaded by marketing companies? Central question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're looking for that, because that was for today, but like, are you looking for it for?
Is it just for today? I thought it was for the whole week.
It may be, maybe the same thing. Did she repeat it?
Let me look through. Yeah, basically it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Or you could even say, why is it important to understand persuasive techniques? I mean, just so that they're kind of understanding, like, why are we learning this? Because that's a question a lot of them will have, like, why does this matter?
Yeah.
But it's because, we're bombarded by advertising, and it goes both ways. You have to know how to vet that out themselves, but also how to use it yourself. So you could, that was fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Or you can adapt it a little bit,
Yeah, I was trying to think, because like, I mean, for, that would be good for like tomorrow, but as far as like Wednesday and Thursday,
Right. How can I use persuasive techniques to get my point across? You know, why is it important to understand how to use persuasive techniques?
Yeah.
How and why statements are always really good.
yeah.
You know, essential question starters.
I'm saying this is a, oh, I guess I can copy and paste these. I'll download her PowerPoint
Yeah.
and copy and paste my PowerPoint. So.
Tired today.
Yeah, I didn't get into bed till like after midnight. James worked really late last night, so I was just like laid in bed like awake till he got home. So, the enduring understanding would be,
This is sentence form, correct? It's just a statement.
yeah, this is the kind of the general foundational statement. So it would be like, good persuasion includes ethos, pathos, and
Logical
logos.
appeal.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Or there are many persuasive techniques, including. Oops.
That's a new one for me, that term. Enduring.
Yeah. There are many. Okay.
When I first started teaching, you would have to post the EQ on the board and the standard above it. And in your lesson, you were required to touch the standard 3 times, and the essential question at least once. You literally like had to walk to the board and say like, today we're doing this, and like touch it. And then somewhere in the middle of the lesson come back by and say, remember that our standard today is, and touch it. Like you had, and like when they observed you, they tallied how many times you touched the standard or touched the essential question. Yeah. It's just fads, things that come through. You know, it's crazy. That's all that enduring understanding. It's good, and I see the point of it, but there'll be a time where there'll be something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where things cycle through.
It's really funny.
You'll be touching the standard before too long.
So, instruction that would have preceded the lesson would be the like introduction that we did today, and then the application of that tomorrow. Learning outcome would be for Wednesday anyway. Students will be able to collaboratively
Construct. Never done
I was thinking, yeah, Wednesday is their making time, right? Yeah, so we could collaboratively construct a persuasive media, protesting an established school using a variety of persuasive techniques. And then I'll skip over to lesson. Actually, I'm gonna make that lesson 2. I'll make today's lesson, no, tomorrow lesson 1. I have to do 3 lessons.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this